Hey, Mark Rodriguez here. With me is...
Juby Chan, also known as Ninja Juby, or you can call me Wendy. Hi guys.
Yep, and now we're going to talk about episode 13 of Dragonball Daima. I got to say we had, I guess, a bit of a holiday break because I was very confused that there was no... Because, you know, on social media, there's always all the little pictures here and there or spoilers I'm trying to avoid before we watch the episode. And I'm like, nothing happened. Then we realized that there was no episode.
Yeah, and the reason for that, it could be because, well, probably because of the holiday. Over in Japan, Christmas is a thing, but it's just not like how it is here. It's mostly catered to little kids and couples, mostly. But the biggest holidays, everything surrounding the last few days of December going into the New Year, that's the most important part of the whole winter holiday over there. So yeah, so they were probably doing a bunch of New Year's stuff, you know, people traveling, going home, family, first temple visit of the year, Osechi, which I totally missed, you know, stuff like that. That's probably why there wasn't an episode last week. And even over in Japan, Christmas isn't even a national holiday.
Oh.
You get December 23rd off because it's the emperor's birthday. But not, you know, Christmas Day, and the 23rd is for Hirohito's birthday, so Emperor Showa.
Yeah.
For, you know, from World War II. I mean, that emperor.
I see. So right now, this other week, now we got the next episode of Daima, and I still don't see, like, big, like, you know, avoid the spoilers on social media. And
there really wasn't much to spoil, even if you described it. So, like, the whole episode was called Surprise. You know, I was kind of surprised when I was looking at the title, saying, "Oh, that's exactly what it says, surprise," in English, but you know, katakana.
So most of the story points start off basically in the beginning of the episode of like I guess you could say actual importance, because the episode did kind of sort of feel like a filler in aspects, but it kind of goes with like how the last one ended with, as usual, Goma and Degesu, you know, surprising all the stuff, because now they know that Arisu got 1 Dragon Ball and the good guys got 2 Dragon Balls, so now all 3 Dragon Balls are already procured by other people that are not with Goma, and they know that the heroes are heading towards the first demon realm. So it's kind of like the last episode where he's like, well, in that case, you know, so I guess they're going to get all the Gendarmerie there to await them. But at the same time, now he wants to deactivate Warp Sama, which Degesu's like, what? You can even do that? But it's so confusing because they make it sound like it's something that you just don't know can even be done. But then Degesu goes downstairs and activates this like hidden lever that's made for that. So it's kind of like, okay, so if you don't know that this could actually be done at all, like it's a thing that can actually happen, why is there a lever there? Why do you know where the lever is? What is the lever even made for then? You know what I mean? But yeah, you know.
I guess maybe it's like do not pull in case of emergency. So more probably is more like we have the power to do that. We're allowed to do that. I mean, I know where it is, but we're allowed to do it. It's sort of like a fire alarm. You know the fire alarm's there, and you know you're not supposed to pull it, but you know in case of an emergency, you pull it.
I think maybe it's also because now that Goma has the authority, the Starburst, maybe now they have the authority. But
I was thinking that too. And also, even what you were saying with Dabura, like how did they get Dabura and all that other stuff?
Yeah, I'll bring that up in a moment. But yeah, Degesu deactivates the Warp Sama and the giant fish thing just falls asleep out there in space. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I did bring up that point. Whenever they showed it, I was asking Wendy, because in Dragon Ball Z, they don't really go into much detail of exactly how Babidi got Dabura. We just know that he got Dabura, like how she's like, oh my god, the king of the underworld, you know, he got him, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's like, so did Babidi have to go through Warp Samas and all that? Here's another question that just came up to me right now.
Yeah.
Remember that BBD went to Marja, and Marja did the thing about, you know, that she took the credit for, well, that she created Majin Buu, but she let the world believe that Babidi did, that BBD did it.
Yeah.
So does that mean that BBD also had to use Warp Samas and whatever to get there?
I guess in this continuity, we're just gonna go with that. Alright.
Yeah. So those are the major plot points, that all the Gendarmeries are going to be waiting for the good guys whenever they show up at the first demon realm, and also that Warp Sama's been deactivated, so that's going to add the extra thing of how we're going to get there.
And I kind of like what Vegeta said, let's just fly there already. You know, it's like, yeah, that's not a possibility. Yeah. So for the most of this episode, as mentioned, you know, the last episode they were like flying or having a little trouble with the ship, and the ship actually crashed on this mega planet, yeah, and everything there is like super huge, super big. Goku has a meal, and Pansy and Bulma are trying to fix the ship. Hybeast is like being Hybeast.
well, they need, because, you know, they're so short, they need Hybeast to get on all fours so that Pansy can get on top of him to do the repairs. And then here we see that now Bulma and Pansy are both on top of him. He's like, this is messing up my pants.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying Hybeast is just being Hybeast.
Yeah.
And then you see a giant thing coming towards them. And I was like, I bet you that's a kid, because I just noticed the things he was carrying.
Well, that's later on. First you get attacked by a bunch of hamsters.
Well, they do. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so they realize things are giant because Neva was pointing out the planet, said, oh gosh, we do gotta get out of here. This is the mega planet. He was warning them. He realized where they were. And this is the most emotion we actually see out of this guy. Because, you know, Dorm's like, this is amusing. No, but anyway, for this, he's like, we gotta get out of here. And then, you know, some giant hamsters show up, and Vegeta's like, just beat them up. And then Goku said, no, that's cruel, because come on, they're just giant hamsters. Mm-hmm. And then after they deal with the kind of sort of deal with the hamsters, and they hear something's coming towards them, and they see this giant thing, the dog. It was like a dog, and then this giant thing with him walking, and I guess that's a kid because when he was carrying and everything.
Yeah,
and
a bag full of like school supplies.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. I was like, oh, so he is a child. So everything on this planet is mega and huge. So of course, while we're watching, we're thinking like, oh my, what if he, accidentally steps on the ship or step on them?
Yeah,
I mean,
and that was their top priority, was to try to Goku, Piccolo, and Vegeta, because they're the fighters there, to like make sure the kid doesn't see the spaceship, or make sure the dog stays away from the spaceship while Goma and Pansy are still fixing it.
Mm-hmm. But here's something else we forgot to mention. Going back to Goma with the turning the warp off. Mm-hmm. Adensu knows about it because she says something must have happened, and she also talked with Glodio. He let her know that they had they had the other two Dragon Balls, mm-hmm. and they had their little conversation. So
it happened a little bit before the hamster showed up.
Yeah, and the thing is, Adensu knows that the warp is closed, but she didn't convey that to Glorio. Mm. So I was wondering why she didn't do that.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
So for the most part, this was definitely like kind of a filler episode. Like, as Mark was saying, they're trying to keep the giant from the ship. They have shenanigans with the dog.
The kid eventually spots them too. So
they're trying to yeah. So of course, because we couldn't have a show, because the show must happen. They do get away in their ship and they fly off. And Neva was telling them that Vegeta was saying that, Neva said this is one of the second most dangerous planet in the demon realm, and how even Goma wouldn't go here to this planet or this area. Mm-hmm. And then Vegeta was like, wait a minute, if this is the second most, what's the number one planet or the number one area? The Giga whatever. So you see,
Giga planet. It's even larger things like.
Oh gosh, yeah. It was kind of interesting. I guess the best thing about it is that we finally got to see Pansy and Bulma working together on something. Because I was jokingly saying that earlier, but I was saying it more so like, well, I know what I'm doing. Well, I know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
Just to be petty or something.
Yeah.
She showed Pansy a Hoi capsule and how they use it, how they use those. And she was, Pansy was very amazed by it and all of that.
Oh, yeah, because they left most of their tools behind or something. So
no, the Kraken got it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. The whole ship. She had to save the. Yeah.
And the only thing they could get out was the Dragon Ball.
Yeah. So Goma had the Hoi capsule with a giant ass toolbox. So there's all the tools they need and everything. The only thing they talked about, I don't know if it's gonna factor into the story later or not, is that this green thing that's like that powers the ship. So Pansy went into some detail about that, mm-hmm. and the planet with like acidic water that powers it or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch, and Bulma wants some. That's why she couldn't fix the ship back on Earth, because that something doesn't exist on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So Pansy offers that, hey, maybe we can steal some after all this is done. And Bulma's kind of like,
yeah, we'll call my, like you said, we'll call my dad. You know, it's like, okay, Pansy, if you said so.
yeah, but I like the part about we could steal some.
I know.
Like, that kind of thing. But yeah, shenanigans with trying to avoid the dog, shenanigans with the kid. The kid was like, I can't tell if he was just flat out going home or taking a lunch break. He was just sitting down eating like a piece of the Kraken.
When Wendy was talking,
like
when the way Neva was saying it, and I was saying, yeah, that's like a Japanese thing. You know, like maybe he picked up something to eat on the way home from
from the store. Yeah.
You know, he said he picked something up on the way home, so he wouldn't be going to school.
Oh.
He'll be coming away.
Well, I
from
mean like
school.
a lunch break, but yeah.
No, but it was a lunch
sense.
break if you'd be in school. Is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it said if he went to the store to get something, then school was probably over.
Yeah.
You know, like after school snack.
Yeah. So there's lots of stuff. Like Goku got actually flew like amongst the dogs. Spur had to fight like giant ticks and things. The kid himself we obviously didn't know they were there. All the contents of the bag fell, so the cast had to avoid giant-sized books and pencils and things like that.
Giant eraser.
Yeah, and then the kid started to like try to swat at the ship with one of the rulers. So Goku had the Neo Bowl like clash with the ruler, like a giant weapon type thing, stuff like that.
So there really wasn't much to this episode, but the only thing as far as story progression goes is just the fact that the warp is closed, and we can probably only speculate on how they're going to get to the first realm, and the strangeness of why Adensu didn't even mention that it was closed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it pretty much ends like that. The cast just flies off, and Goku looks out the window, and you see like more kids of the giant kids walking around, and we get the thing with Neva and Piccolo and Vegeta with the even gianter planet or whatever. But yeah, it pretty much ends there. And then the next episode, I forgot the title already.
Taboo.
Oh, Taboo.
See, I thought it was supposed to be like taboo, like tab.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and then you said you read the English part because I was so focused on the Japanese. You were looking at the English and it says taboo.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
But that one also looks very like. That's the thing about the previews. They show things that are so short and quick. It's not like the the original Dragon Ball Z, Super, GT. All of them were kind of like, hey, this is Goku. This happens. Whatever happens. Bad guy talks. Whatever. See you next time. Here's just a very very short little melody and a quick scene of XYZ. We see Goku falling through something or something, and that's it. Find out what it is in the next episode. There's no talk. There's no dialogue. There's no whatever Goku. None of that.
I'm still trying to figure out why this episode is called Surprise.
I guess surprise, giant planet, giant filler episode, surprise.
So it's World 4 from Super Mario Bros. 3.
There you go. But yeah, it doesn't really leave us with much to talk about the episode. And obviously, I mean, it's not planned that way with the holiday, So anyone that's been waiting, because we got Vegeta Super Saiyan 3. Oh, there's an episode this week. Let's wait for it next week. Everyone's like, the anticipation is building because we missed a week and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a regular episode, which is kind of weird too because with only 20 or so episodes, do we really have time for a filler episode? It's kind of.
Yeah, if this was like a 25 episode series or so, maybe they can get away with one or so. But I just wonder what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I'm just afraid, like, I don't want the final episode or final 2 episodes to seem like too rushed, you know what I mean? Now, the other thing I do want to say is that the animation was very awesome, and there's lots of cool coloring, lighting effects, and everything with the, Goku traversing the giant foliage and all stuff like that, So that was kind of cool. And, I mean, I was telling Wendy, this is the, we still got a couple of $100 worth of animation budget to use in this episode. Or whatever, and that's it. But yeah, the reason I just want to say about the episode, I mean, it's entertaining, in general. But the only real plot progression is just the warp sama has been deactivated, which adds to the question like we said before: how are you going to get there without warp sama? That's very explicitly said that we need warp sama to get there.
This is how you could have cut down this episode, honestly. For all important plot points. This is how you do. Start off with Goma sitting around doing nothing, screaming like a fool. Telling Degesu to shut off the warp, stop, all the warp
shut off the warp sama.
Next we can have show Pansy and Bulma trying to fix the ship while what's his name is talking with Adensu, and then show maybe show them flying away from the giant kid. I mean, have the kid.
And then do the rest of the next episode.
Yeah, seriously, that's all you really needed for this episode. I mean, as far as stuff for plot stuff,
Yeah.
Because it would look weird if you only show that stuff, then the next episode, wait, how did they fix
Yeah.
show?
Yeah. Well, that's all we can say for this episode. The only thing I do want to mention, I do like to see Piccolo jumping into action, so we get to see lots of. I mean, I didn't do anything too spectacular, but I do like seeing Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo working together, blasting things, flying around, stuff like that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Instead of him just hanging back. But unfortunately, Kaioshin once again went back into his I don't do nothing role, just hanging back.
Oh yeah, he almost got eaten by the the hamster. One of the hamsters. The hamster was about to eat him. Said, "I don't taste good. Will you just fight? You are Kaioshin. You are some kind of god or something.
Yeah.
Will you just do something?"
That one episode is probably too much. That one episode
God
is something.
of useless.
Yes. So anyways, guys, it's Mark right here signing off.
This is Wendy. We'll see you next week for Taboo.
Yes, as Goku goes dark. Oh God, as Goku explores his taboos. Oh, God.
Oh no, we get Goku Black before Super.
Oh, there you go, Goku Black before Super.
Oh no, they're gonna play the season how Goku Black will become a thing in Super, even though we already know how he becomes a thing in Super because of the mouse and all that. But okay. Yeah, I know. I need to go.
All right. See you next time, guys.
Bye.